Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to Catch of the Day. I'm so excited about today. I'm here in Arkansas, right here with the legendary White River. I am with TJ Kessler, who is a fly fishing guide from Beckley, West Virginia, who moved out here and has got an amazing operation right here on the White River. Fin Chaser Outfitters. And you need to make sure that if you're planning a trip out here, that you get in contact with TJ. Everything is great, first class, and we're looking forward to have a great day. TJ, tell us real quick, what hatches are we going to be looking at today?
We're going to be looking for the caddis hatch, primarily bugs on the surface this evening. If the wind or if it would happen to rain or anything, we would switch over to nymphs and fish caddis's subsurface. Those are our main focuses today. I guess
the White River's a tailwater fishery.
A tailwater fishery. It's a lot different than what I'm used to. Even I came from fishing mountain streams, and these fish feed differently at different times. There's different windows you can catch them.
So we're going to get on the river. We're excited. I didn't even get to sleep last night. I was so excited, and so we're going to go out here and see what the day has for us. And so we'll check back in from time to time. And you got KK on the camera, and so you might see her a little bit. But TJ is a great friend, great guy, and definitely, if you're coming out this way, you want to make sure to look him up, get hooked up, and use him for fishing with your family here on the White River. Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening. I just came in from outside. We had our drive-in service this morning, and so Tyler and Kim are headed on vacation, so we're trying to do some recording ahead of time so that they can enjoy their vacation and we can still put on Catch of the Day at its regular time on Wednesdays. Kay and I, we just came back from Arkansas and had a great time. Kay's sister lives there, brother-in-law and nephew, and so we went to see them. And being there, I had an opportunity to go up and fish the White River. Now, if anybody knows fishing, if anybody knows trout fishing, they know the White River. It's legendary. It is a amazing fishery. It's a tailwater fishery. And a tailwater fishery means that it is a river that flows out from underneath a dam. And so they regulate the river's depth, and so they change it regularly. While we were there, I think the depth of the river changed 3, maybe 4 times, and can really interrupt the fishing quite a bit. But one of the things that Kay was with me, and she did some filming, took some pictures. One of the hatches, and if you're a fly fisherman, you know what that means. One of the hatches that is prolific on the White River is a caddis hatch. Now, when I first started fly fishing, Mike Radeball gave me a stack of old magazines that had fly fishing articles in it, and then he gave me a hardback book. And I can still see it in my mind. It was a light brown, had a trout on the front of it, and a mayfly, I think, and it was just entitled Entomology. And he said, if you're going to be a good fly fisherman, you need to know bugs because you match the hatch when you're a fly fisherman. And so we were there on the White, and it was amazing. Even being there probably a little late in the season, the caddis hatch was coming down. The numbers weren't there. We still got to see the caddis flying and flittering. And we'll probably show you some images of that and show you some. Kay's got a caddis on her finger. She was covered in caddis. She had all kinds of caddis. And if you wonder what a caddis might look like, it'd be like a little miller with like little tent wings that flutter about. And if you study, you'll find out that there's all different kinds of caddis. Case caddis, which spins a little case and is on the bottom of the river. There's some that are olive, brown, cream, different color caddis. Now, this might seem a little, why are you telling us this? Because the amazing thing about caddis is their lifespan. It's so short. Mayflies will be 24, 25 hours with a 24 to 48 hours life cycle. With a caddis, they usually last about a year to 2 years, but that 98% of the time, 99% of the time, it's underwater. And so when it's time for them to hatch, they'll swim to the surface. They will, they're going to be in an egg. They're going to be dropped as eggs. A female lays about 800 eggs at a time. And so the eggs will drop to the bottom. The egg will become a larva. The larva will become a pupa. The pupa will then become an adult. They'll fly, they'll mate, they'll die. And the whole thing starts all over again. As a fly fisherman, you fish all stages. You fish the pupa, the larva, you fish the adult, and then you fish the dead when it falls finally and dies, and you can fish on top. And caught a lot of fish that way. And it's amazing how fast it is. Caddis, as was mentioned first about in the 1500s, when it was in conjunction with people that were talking about silk, because a caddis spins silk. But as fishing goes, Isaac Walton, in his book, The Complete Angler, which is a fly fisherman's Bible, he wrote it in 1653, talks about using caddis as bait. So this has been around for a long time. And Kay and I were talking about that hatch and the amazing sight. And as we looked up the river, the cloud of insects that was moving upstream, and how short of a lifespan they have. We were talking on our trip back after being there on the river. You know, James 4:14 says that our life is but a vapor. It is so short. It's here for a moment, and then it's gone. Along those same lines, I remember in the book of Psalms 90:12, it says, "Teach us to number our days." And on the trip back from Arkansas, I started thinking about a sermon I preached. Kate remembers all dates, and she said it was back in 2014 I preached this message. And I had my kids in a jar, not my kids in a jar. I had beans that represented weeks of their life in a jar. And this jar here was my jar. And when you put beans in to represent days or weeks, I admonished our parents then to do this. Count out how many days your child has. For instance, how many days does your child have until they turn 18? Or how many weeks till they turn 18? Put that in a jar. Then at the beginning of that week, pull out the bean, throw it away. Or if you do days, of course, day by day. I have 10,220 days left if you go by the average age span of a man is 75 years, give or take. Bible talks about God giving men 75 years. And so the number of days I have left, if you want to go like this, I've got 1,460 weeks left, 1,400 weeks left of my life until I turn 75. Now, I'm not here to sober you up. I'm not here for you to be listening on Wednesday night and think, oh my goodness, you know, that's all I've got left. You reach in, you take out a bean, and that's it. That's all I've got. And I think that's why God wants us to make sure that we're thinking, teach us to number our days. These are the days I have left. How am I going to spend them? How am I going to live them? I'm going to take a day and complain about others? Am I going to take a day and hate the day that I'm living? Am I going to hate what I'm doing? Am I going to live? This is all I've got left. Am I going to live the rest of my life thinking a certain way, doing a certain thing, being a certain thing, not living for the Lord, how is it going to be? It really truly is sobering when you bring everything down together and say, man, my life is but a vapor. That's all I've got left in beans. That's all I've got left in beans. Man, I want to make sure that I spend this the best way I can. A lot of preachers have preached the same message. I remember I preached it. I put a fake headstone in front of the pulpit. And I put my birth date, and then a dash, and then a question mark on the end date or the death date of my headstone. And I preached, how are you going to live your dash? That dash, that date to date, that time. What are you going to do in that dash? How are you going to live it? Who are you going to live for? And it's an important question to ask. I think God in His infinite wisdom used His word to admonish us to understand that it's just a short amount of time we have left. Live it for Him. Live and enjoy it. And learn to count your days. And I think that will help you zero in on how to live. Hey, thanks for listening.